The most polarizing player and the most polarizing topic amongst Minnesota Fighting Vikings fans is quarterback Kirk Jerome Ezekiel Cousins, the Tin Pot Pizza Ranch dictator, as well as his contract. It's been a sticking point ever since he signed here as a free agent in 2018, a 3-year, $84 million fully guaranteed deal, then the 2-year, $66 million extension, and then the 1-year, $35 million extension. Money, it's a gas. Catch rules everything around me, cream. But with developments this week that Kyler Murray got paid, rightfully so. Proud fellow South Korean, partly. There you go. Blah, blah, blah. Cardinals gave Kyler a 5-year, $230.5 million deal with $160 million fully guaranteed. Murray's now the second highest paid quarterback with an average of $46.1 million per year. So that smashes him right atop the quarterback listings in terms of average per season. Right below Aaron Rodgers, again, making $50.271 million. It's a lot of really poor tattoos. So Kyler at 2, Deshaun Watson is in at 3, massive deal, fully guaranteed. Good job, Browns. Then you got Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes, remember, it was only a couple of years ago that Mahomes signed a 10-year, almost $500 billion deal. Now that seems like a bargain. We knew that it would, man. And he's already been restructured a couple times. And because the hashtag the cap is a myth, there's always money. There's always ways to make money and just fudge around those numbers. Josh Allen got paid. He's already a damn bargain. They got Derek Carr for some reason, just making $40.5 million. Like it's no big deal. But we keep going down this list because then he got Dak, and Stafford got his deal freshened up after the Super Bowl win. Russell Wilson got taken care of by jumping George Payton in Denver. But Kirk Cousins, Mr. Cousins lonely down here, averaging $35 million per season on his new deal. And so this is talk about new cash money. So Cousins right now is the 10th highest paid quarterback in the league in terms of average per season. That's not bad. That ain't bad at all because I do put Kirk Cousins in that top 10 adjacent type area. So the whole misnomer that the Vikings are being held back because of Kirk Cousins' contract. Name me one player that the Vikings weren't able to hang on to because of Kirk's deal. Because, again, there's always ways to move money around. And even though Kirk Cousins still clocks in as the third highest cap hit in the league this year at 31.416668 million, the Vikings were able to maneuver by adding that one extension year and also adding a couple of void years. The Vikings were able to free up cap space because Rob Brzezinski, Thug Life Rob Brzezinski, is working that cap. He's fantastic at it, man. He is absolutely elite. So again, it's all about total money because eventually the bill comes due, but the question is when you have to spend it. But if you're giving a quarterback $40, $45, $50 million per year versus making $30, $35 million, it's a pretty big difference. Also, note, Ryan Tannehill has the highest cap hit in the league. No one pisses and moans about Tannehill's contract. Ain't doing it. Although, I mean, Tannehill's contract may be one of the reasons why they weren't able to extend A.J. Brown, question mark. Also, by the way, look at the luminaries on this list. Jared Goff is up there. Carson Wentz is up there. Leonard Williams was number 10 on this list. Bosa's up there with his big contract. TJ, that's what happens when you have quarterbacks on the rookie deals. You're able to really pay the piper early on with some of these other non-quarterback contracts. It makes sense. I mean, if you want to see why the cap is indeed a myth, Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones have 2 of the top 6 cap hits in the league this year, and they're still able to field a pretty damn good team. Although, could be one of the reasons why Tyreek was let go. But again, this is not to just a poo-poo on Kyler. I think that he is fantastic. I think he's a nice, young, up-and-coming quarterback. His team made the playoffs last year. The Vikings didn't. Even though QB wins is not a stat, it's an indicator. But, I mean, Kyler versus Kirk, black and white stats, relatively comparable. ESPN QBR obviously loves Kyler a little bit more than Kirky Boy because ESPN hates Kirk Cousins, but PFF likes Kirk slightly better than Kyler Murray. So I do think that Kyler can be erratic. I think that he can be inconsistent. I think overall his highs are higher than Kirk's, but his lows are also lower and more frequent. I think Kirk overall, since the bye week of 2020, has played some of the best football of his career because how many drives did Kirk Cousins lead at the end of games last season as a go-ahead score or game-winning drive in the fourth quarter or overtime? Several. Right, so again, Kirk, not necessarily the issue last season. It was more the defense, especially the 2-minute situational football defense. But no one brings that up because people just like to go back to the well because it makes them feel comfortable. It's like, hey, we could piss and moan about Kirk Cousins' contract. Same thing with Joe Mauer back in the day with Twins fans. It's like blah 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 blah, and then you get so used to it, and you embrace the darkness, and then you're just like, oh, it's like putting on a nice warm sweater. So I'm gonna keep the sweater on all day. That's why you complain about Kirk Cousins' contract, even though Kirk's contract is not the issue right now. It just isn't. Brought up the wrong side. All right, so again, I digress here. I think Kirk Cousins does have the best opportunity this year with Kevin O'Connell, hopefully a revamped offense, a new offensive line, etc. And as time went along, Kirk Cousins' deal is becoming a bargain. And frankly, if the Vikings are able to track phone this thing out year to year on the lease with Kirk Cousins, as opposed to splashing down a 3 or 4 year deal, which I think that he may earn this offseason because I think the Vikings offense is going to be top dog, and you're not necessarily going to want to get rid of him, or at least Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah won't. So we'll see. I mean, is Kirk going to be in line for making $40 million a year again? Probably not, given his age, even though Rodgers is a misnomer because he's allegedly 2-time defending Super Bowl champion. I think that he is going to be making Russell Wilson type money. Like if and when the Vikings win the division, if and when the Vikings make a push in the playoffs, I think that Kirk has earned a little bit of scratch. And frankly, I think that he's right at that level. So you see the mega deals on the young quarterbacks coming in, like we mentioned, with Kyler and, well, with Watson and the Browns, but with Mahomes and Josh Allen, Derek Carr for some reason, right? That makes sense because your take out Derek Carr, but your quarterback's coming off the rookie deals. Justin Herbert's going to get paid. Joe Burrow's going to get all the money as well. Hell, in 2 or 3 years, Kirk Cousins may be the 17th, 18th highest paid quarterback in the league, making the same amount of money, relatively speaking. So this is a long way of saying, yeah, don't fret. Don't fret about Kirk Cousins. Kyler's contract to make you feel better about Kirk Cousins. Also, when it comes time to pay Justin Ring and Jefferson, they can do it. They can do it because we got Rob Brzezinski, and the cap is indeed a myth, man. But that's it. Kyler's contract to make you feel better about Kirk Cousins. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.